may not be known for its overabundance of constitutional crises. However, they're not unheard of here. One of them that springs into my head immediately is the King-Byng Affair. The King-Byng Affair can be traced back to September in the year 1925, where the Prime Minister of Canada at that time was William Lyon Mackenzie King. It was that month where Mackenzie King asked the Governor General of Canada, who holds the power to dissolve and not dissolve Parliament, Lord Julian Byng, to dissolve Parliament and drop the writ, which is essentially the paper keeping our government together, is the best way I can describe it as. To call a general election. That's what Mackenzie King wanted to do, to which Lord Byng agreed. On the 29th of October, 1925, the Conservatives, led by former Prime Minister Arthur Meighen, won the election with 116 seats. King's Liberals got 101, and the Progressives got only 22. The affair starts when Meighen declared victory, but King did not resign, which, yes, you do have to resign in order to lose the office of Prime Minister in Canada. It's more ceremonial, but technically you do have to resign. The previous parliament, which was elected in 1921, saw King still work with the previous parliament in the Progressive Party. This meant King was still the Prime Minister. This might surprise people who don't have a multi-party parliamentary system, but to sum it up nicely, Arthur Meighen won the election, although he did not get enough seats in Parliament to have his legislation passed. Usually, this would call for the largest party, which in this case would be the Conservatives, to use the support from tinier parties to get their legislation passed. So King used this opportunity to use the tiny opposition party, the Progressive Party, to get his legislation passed. I don't think that the Constitution people who were writing it expected that. On the 30th of October, King visited Lord Byng and expressed how he wanted to keep power, with the help of the Progressive Party. Byng told King that he had to resign to give Meighen the electorally given right to form the next government. Meighen and other Conservatives rightly believed that this was an attack on Canadian democracy, although some think that most Conservatives were glad that King actually decided to keep power. King went to Byng on the 26th of June, 1926, to finally dissolve Parliament, now that the Progressives had finally agreed to not support King anymore. However, surprisingly, Byng said no. Byng refused to dissolve Parliament, reminding King of the last time that they visited in October in the previous year. He also stated that the Conservatives ought to form the next government before an election can be held. Byng and King discussed the matter for the next 2 days, with Byng asking King to not request a dissolution of Parliament because he would say no, and King asking Byng to take this up with the British Crown, which Canada is still a subject of. On the 28th of June, Byng declined to sign the order in council on the grounds that the House of Commons should be given the opportunity to decide if it can support the new government. Having been refused his formal request, King decided to resign, where Byng had officially invited Meighen to form the government. Meighen believed that he was bound by honor and convention to accept. At that time, convention dictated that the ministers of the Crown, drawn from the House of Commons, to resign their seats and trigger a by-election, which is an election for the Member of Parliament in just that one seat. This would make the new government extremely weak in the event of a motion of no confidence. Progressives and Liberals saw the use of acting ministers against the convention and moved for a motion of no confidence in Meighen's government, in which they lost confidence by one vote at 2 o'clock in the morning on the 2nd of July, 1926. 77 out of the 100 Liberal MPs voted for no confidence, while the other 24 abstained. 91 Conservative MPs voted for confidence in the government, with the other 24 abstaining. 14 Progressive MPs voted for no confidence, 2 for confidence, and 5 abstaining. Both of the Labour Party's MPs voted for no confidence. One MP from the United Farmers of Alberta Party voted for no confidence, with the other abstaining. 2 independent MPs voting for no confidence, 1 against, and 1 abstaining. After all, Meehan's government got 94 yes and 95 nays, with 56 abstentions. Meehan asked Lord Byng to dissolve Parliament, which led to Mackenzie King winning a plurality of seats, and Meehan actually losing his. Lord Byng returned to London on the 30th of September 1926 as a much respected figure in both countries. Some authorities then and now hold the opinion that Byng was constitutionally obliged to decline, by stating King's refusal to resign was an unprecedented event. Others have agreed with King. After all, it is allowed. He could do that. What do you think about the King-Byng Affair?